Welcome to another episode of the Simple Mindspace podcast. I'm your host, guiding you on a journey to master your money and your mind. Today, we're diving deep into the intricate world of finance, uncovering the hidden history of how a once mighty empire transitioned into a financial powerhouse, impacting the global landscape in ways you might not expect. You know, we often hear about empires rising and falling, leaving behind tangible remnants like ancient ruins or cultural influences. But what happens when an empire's legacy shifts from physical dominance to financial control? That's the fascinating story we're exploring today. We're traveling back in time to the height of the British Empire, where the city of London reigned supreme as the world's financial epicenter. Imagine a time when the sun never set on the British Empire, and the city of London, its financial heart, pulsed with the lifeblood of global trade and finance. But empires, as history teaches us, are not meant to last. As the British Empire began to crumble, so too did the city of London's dominance. The once bustling financial hub faced an uncertain future, grappling with the loss of its colonial power and the subsequent threat to its financial interests. The year 1956 marked a turning point. The Suez Crisis, sparked by Egypt's nationalization of the Suez Canal, shook the foundations of the British Empire, exposing its vulnerability and ultimately leading to a decline in its global standing. This was a stark reminder that the era of traditional empires was waning. However, amidst the ashes of a fading empire, a new strategy began to take shape. The City of London, ever resourceful and adaptable, sought a new role in this changing world. The solution, as we'll soon discover, lay in the realm of finance, where the seeds of a new kind of empire were sown. With the decline of the empire, London's financial experts knew they had to adapt. They understood that while physical control was slipping away, financial influence could still be wielded, shaping the global landscape in a different way. This marked the start of their transformation from colonial masters to financial kingpins. The City of London embarked on a journey to reinvent itself, leveraging its historical connections, financial expertise, and a legal framework that would prove remarkably advantageous in the years to come. Remember the London Eurodollar market? This seemingly innocuous financial innovation, born out of necessity, became a cornerstone of the City of London's resurgence. By creating a market for dollars outside of U.S. jurisdiction, the City of London found a way to circumvent regulations and attract international banks eager to escape the watchful eye of American regulators. This move, though seemingly technical, played a crucial role in re-establishing London as a global financial hub, a magnet for international capital. And so, the City of London's influence began to grow, not through military might or territorial expansion, but through the invisible threads of finance, weaving a web of influence that extended far beyond its physical borders. As the City of London was reinventing itself, a parallel development was taking place far away, in the remnants of the British Empire. The rise of secrecy jurisdictions. Picture this: idyllic islands, once insignificant dots on the map, transformed into financial havens, shrouded in secrecy and offering a safe haven for wealth-seeking anonymity and tax advantages. These havens, strategically scattered across the globe, were not just geographically distant from the City of London, they were also legally distinct, operating under their own sets of rules and regulations. This legal separation was crucial. It allowed the City of London to maintain a degree of plausible deniability, distancing itself from the controversial practices occurring within these havens, while simultaneously benefiting from the vast sums of money flowing through them. This deliberate blurring of lines between the City of London and these secrecy jurisdictions would become a recurring theme, allowing those in power to reap the benefits while evading accountability. Among the tools of secrecy employed by these havens, none were as effective or as shrouded in mystery as the trust. Trusts, with their ancient origins and complex legal structures, provided the perfect vehicle for shielding wealth from prying eyes. They allowed individuals and corporations to distance themselves from their assets, creating layers of opacity that made it incredibly difficult to track the true owners of wealth. This lack of transparency had profound implications. It enabled tax evasion on a massive scale, depriving governments, particularly in developing countries, of much-needed revenue. The flow of money into these secrecy jurisdictions became a torrent, leaving many questioning the fairness and equity of the global financial system. Now, let's talk about the people who orchestrated this intricate system. We're not just talking about faceless corporations, but a network of individuals bound by shared interests, old-school ties, and a sense of entitlement. This network, often referred to as the British establishment, played a pivotal role in shaping the offshore world, blurring the lines between the public and private sectors and ensuring that the system benefited those in power. They occupied positions of influence, moving seamlessly between government roles, financial institutions, and the boards of companies operating within these secrecy jurisdictions. This revolving door of elites created a system rife with conflicts of interest, where personal gain often took precedence over the public good. But what about those who dared to challenge this system? Whistleblowers and those who sought to expose the truth often faced intimidation, career setbacks, and even legal repercussions. The guardians of this offshore world were adept at silencing dissent, protecting the system that benefited them and their allies. Their tactics were often subtle, a demotion here, a smear campaign there, enough to discourage dissent and maintain the status quo. The message was clear. Those who played by the rules of the offshore game were rewarded, while those who dared to rock the boat faced the consequences. As more and more wealth flowed offshore, the impact on the global economy became undeniable. Developing countries, already grappling with poverty and underdevelopment, were hit particularly hard. They were deprived of tax revenue that could have been used to fund essential services like healthcare, education, and infrastructure. This financial drain perpetuated a vicious cycle, making it increasingly difficult for these countries to develop and prosper. The irony was not lost on those who observed this system. While Western nations, including Britain, often positioned themselves as champions of transparency and good governance, their own actions told a different story. Their complicity in creating and maintaining this offshore system undermined their credibility and fueled resentment among those who bore the brunt of its consequences. As we move into the present day, the legacy of this offshore system is still felt around the world. Inequality is on the rise, fueled in part by the ability of the wealthy and powerful to shield their assets from taxation. Trust in governments and institutions is eroding as citizens witness a system that seems rigged in favor of the few. The fight for greater financial transparency and accountability continues. Organizations and individuals around the world are working tirelessly to expose the injustices of the offshore system and advocate for reforms that promote a fairer and more equitable global financial order. Their efforts offer a glimmer of hope, a reminder that change is possible, but it requires sustained effort and a collective commitment to challenge the status quo. So as we wrap up today's episode, let's take a moment to reflect on the key takeaways. We've learned how the decline of a traditional empire gave rise to a new form of financial dominance, how secrecy jurisdictions became the hidden engine of this new order, and how a network of elites benefited from a system designed to protect their interests. The story of Britain's transformation from a colonial power to a financial powerhouse is a cautionary tale, a reminder that empires may change form, but the pursuit of power and wealth persists. If you found today's episode insightful and thought-provoking, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Simple Mind Space podcast. Together, let's continue to explore the complex world of finance and empower ourselves to make informed decisions that shape a better future. Until next time, keep those minds sharp and those financial goals in sight.